Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mike Pellegrini with Vegas Showbiz. Welcome to the first ever episode of Vegas Showbiz Family Style. So, this is a new series of videos that I've been wanting to do on our YouTube channel, mainly because up until now, everything that we have done has been focused on entertainment in Las Vegas. We're out experiencing a thing. I'm trying to capture as much of that thing as possible and then share that with you, the viewer. I'm not going to stop any of that. I want to keep up the cadence just as much, if not more, than I already have been. But honestly, I've been really enjoying vlogging, and I want to fill in the gaps. I want to give our viewers the opportunity, if they want, to get to know us as people a little bit better, get to know our family. I also know that some of my videos are a bit longer format because you're trying to show the whole experience. These are meant to be shorter glimpses. I think this first episode is going to be a little bit longer just because I'm trying to introduce the series, but in general, I like the idea of a little story about something from our lives. I think we have a lot of funny ones and interesting ones to share, and a little bit of footage of that Las Vegas lifestyle, right? I mean, I think that Vegas gets so much attention for the nightlife and the gambling and the Sin City thing and all that. And that stuff's great, that's fine. But there's so much more to Vegas than just that. You know, I barely gamble at all. I'm not really like huge on the nightlife, but the family atmosphere here is surprisingly good. There's just so much fun stuff to do, and that's what drove us to start documenting everything and sharing it on Vegas Showbiz. I just want to show life behind the scenes. You know, obviously every day can't be some new entertaining event for me to share, but we really do enjoy the content creation. I've been blogging since 2011. I've got a monthly streak going all the way back to July of 2011 on pellegrinipage.com. I'll link to that description if you want to check it out. It's just always been a way to keep our family in the know on everything going on with our the rest of our family in the know of what we're doing as a family. So this is just an extension of that. Vlogging has become kind of a passion for me. I'm really into it, and I want to keep pumping out content as much as possible. So you'll see with these family style videos that they're not as much focused on going out and doing the entertaining things. It's more just the day-to-day life stuff. I'm going to start this first video today with a story about how we got here to Las Vegas, and then we'll end up with some footage that I captured recently when we did our first swimming at the house of 2022. So as far as our origination story here, this is actually my second time living in Las Vegas. My mom moved here, I think it was 2004 when she moved here. At that time she had taken a job as a manager in the poker room at the Wynn Casino down on the Strip. And within a year I decided to move down and check it out. I was 24 at the time and had never lived away from Seattle. I was born and raised in Seattle. And I ended up living down here for about 18 months. There were some extenuating circumstances back home in Seattle that caused me to move home sooner than ever expected. But during my first 18 months down here, I made some pretty amazing friends that I'm still very close with to this day. Since then, two more of my uncles have moved down here. My mom's still here. So we have a decent amount of family and friends that are down here. It was exactly a year ago, March of 2021, late March, that I came down to Vegas for the first time in several years. I wanted to visit my mom. I hadn't seen her and my uncles and my friends for that matter, but I hadn't seen any of them since before the pandemic, and it just felt overdue. So I came down to Vegas for a few days and hung out here, and I like to say that it was during that trip that I sort of realized that it was time for us to consider a move. I was a little bit nervous about it because my wife Jessica and I had talked about it previously years ago and decided that Vegas wasn't the right move for our family at that time, but a lot had changed. And what was resonating to me was, first of all, I work as a software engineer at a major tech company that's based up in Seattle, and our jobs had become very remote friendly due to the pandemic. So I was already working remote a couple days a week before the pandemic, and then when it switched to 5 days a week, it was no big deal. And a lot of people had been leaving the area working remotely from different parts of the country or different countries altogether, and it all worked out. So the fact that I could do that professionally certainly opened up the options for us. Next, obviously we had my mom down here, and the idea of our kids being close to a grandparent was a big deal because we didn't have a grandparent near us in the Seattle area, and consequently Jessica and I very rarely got time, like date nights and stuff like that. You know, we just didn't have a lot of time out, and the pandemic was a more recent issue with that. But even before, you know, not having a grandparent makes it difficult with 3 little kids. We knew that would change in Las Vegas. We knew it would be good for the kids. We knew it would be good for my mom. We knew it would be good for my wife and I. So it kind of made sense on that family level. And then the other thing is just that, we had gotten lucky with the real estate timing in Seattle. I mean, that market is insane. And we had been homeowners for about 7 years, and we just bought at the right time, and our house had appreciated a significant amount. It didn't make as much sense to me to sell and stay in that market and then go have to spend way more money on a house to suit us. But I knew that the dollar would go further. I knew that the Vegas real estate market was picking up, but it wasn't as insane as what we were used to in Seattle. And I just loved the idea of being able to provide my family with an amazing, way better house than what we had before. So when I kind of pitched all that to my wife, she agreed. The other thing with her schedule was that she had been working at a restaurant in Seattle before the pandemic, but that all changed too. And to be honest, I mean, regardless, she could have gone back to work later on, but Seattle is not the safest place. It's kind of scary. She was actually mugged once after work already, and the idea of sending her back downtown with just the safety issues that go on in Seattle, if you know Seattle, you know what I'm talking about. I couldn't do it. I couldn't send her down there late at night, getting off work at midnight, walking the streets. I don't care who's with her. I'm not comfortable with it. So based on all those factors, we felt like it was time. We had already moved away from Seattle once after Jessica and I met and got married and everything. We moved down to San Diego. We were down there for 2.5 years, and our first daughter was born there actually, but we haven't been back since. It was a job offer in Seattle that took us back. So we were back in Seattle for about 7 or 8 years before we came down here. We crashed with my mom for a month at her place. We're talking about a 2,000 square foot house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Her and her brother were already living there. They have 2 dogs and quite a few cats. I'm not even going to say how many. And then here comes the 5 of us with our 2 cats, all crammed within this one house. It was memorable in a good way. It was awesome. It was just, it was crowded. But we spent our first month down here house hunting. We found this house in Henderson. If you're not familiar with the area, Henderson is directly attached to Las Vegas. It's all part of Clark County. I think of it because I'm from Seattle. I think as Vegas is to Seattle, Henderson is to Bellevue. It's kind of the family-friendly, nice area. And that was where Jessica wanted to be. I didn't expect Henderson, honestly, just because all of my experience was in the west side of Las Vegas, Summerlin-ish area. I just kind of figured that's where we would end up. But I got to credit Jessica because I absolutely love Henderson. It's been the best fit for our family, and we're very happy with the house that we ended up with. So a lot more stories to come. It's been 9 months now. We've already been down here 9 months. We're loving it. We're taking advantage. It's been good for everybody, and I'm excited to be sharing all this stuff and documenting all this stuff. So here's some footage. We opened up the pool. We had to heat it from like 5 a.m. all day, and it was still a little bit chilly. But good times. Had our friends from the neighborhood come over and do a little swimming, set up a couple cameras and got some decent shots. So, hey, I was trying to wrap things up there and my camera died on me. I think it's a little too hot in the direct sun. Anyway, enjoy the footage from our swimming recently. Got a couple decent shots with the neighbors over here to swim, and expect a lot more of this stuff. I like the idea of kind of showcasing our lives behind all the entertainment. So enjoy, and we will see you very, very soon for the next Vegas Showbiz Family Style. All right, take care. Bye.
gosh, it's so dirty.
I'll clean that up for you.
Here we go.
Mom, don't do it! Get in!
I'm
Get
going.
in, you cyclops!
Ah! 3, 2, ah!
Nice job, Mom! Mom, I'm going to China. I'm taking Axel to China.
Okay. Can you turn the hot tub on?
Are you going to the hot tub
I need to
already?
clean up these leaves.
You are so loud. Ah, my butt cheeks!